Hello, my fellow chatterers and book lovers, and anyone else who's popped in because you're curious about what this is or you have got a bit lost. Welcome everyone, I'm Chatty, this is my channel Chatty the Mad Chatter, and I'm going to be chatting away madly about my physical TBR. This is part 2 of my physical TBR. If you have not seen part 1, I will link it here, and that is where I kind of show you all my shelves as they are, and then I go through each shelf and talk about which books I've read, need to read, so we start clocking up and adding the physical TBR up, and are there any that I am no longer interested in and can unhaul. So that's what the first video was. I did upstairs, so that was about 4, 5, 6, that was 7 shelves. We're now downstairs and I have 1 in the hall, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shelves here. But 2 of these shelves are like the biggest shelves. So plenty of books to go through. Now at the end of my last video, I realised when I was watching it back, one, I had some dead air time, so hopefully, let's hope I work the pause button out this time and we don't have any crazy camera stuff, but who knows? It's one shot, there is no editing. We're just going with it. Haven't got my little gimmick cup because it's upstairs and I just want to get filming. I can't be bothered to do any more setting up. So I'm just going to cheers with the regular cup. So cheers! It is the beautiful Vidania Silver Scribe find, and it is the Alice in Wonderland crazy 3 cups in 1 thing. So yes. Anyway, tangents. Where was I? What was I explaining? What we're doing this video? Yes, I added up incorrectly. So when I rewatched it, I double checked the counting because I didn't trust myself, and I'm glad I did because both times it turns out I was incorrect. So my actual number was 92 books, not 89. I'd missed some, yes. So it was 92 books that I had missed. No, I didn't miss them. It was 92. Anyway, shush. However, since that time, I have decided that I'm going to unhaul some more. So this one's not on the list because I'd already read it, but this is the Little World Book Day Percy Jackson story, The Sword of Hades. And then on the back it has a little bit from The Groovy Greeks by Terry Deary, I think it is. The reason is my son bought the Demigod Diaries, and this short story is in that one, and we also have Groovy Greeks anyway, so I'm going to pass it on to some of his friends who I know are also reading Percy Jackson. And again, this doesn't do anything to the list because I have already read The Girl on the Train. I'm not really going to reread it. I did enjoy it, but I don't need to own it. I'm going to remember it and I can tell people about it, so I don't need it in my house. I can pass it on for someone else. So I'm getting rid of Paula Hawkins' Girl on the Train. Same with Andy Weir's The Martian. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to reread it, so I can pass this on. The Last Dog on Earth. I did really enjoy this one. I don't think I am going to reread it. Just because I know there are so many books that I want to read, so many new books that I want to read, and it's a continuous thing. Like the list gets longer and longer and longer, and it's not one that I feel I'm going to want to kind of get back in the story for. So like, it's not like Pratchett, I love rereading them. Hob, I know I'm going to reread because I want to reread that whole thing again. I don't think I'm going to reread this. However, I am going to see if my husband wants to read it because I think it's a great book and he should, but who knows. So I'm going to offer it. If not, it will go to the charity shop. I need to add another book to the list already because my Shelter Box book parcel came through. So I now have this one to add to my collection, which is The Selfless Act of Breathing by J.J. Bowler. So this is, the tagline is, how do you decide if your life is worth living? Michael Kabongo is a British Congolese teacher living in London on the cusp of 2 identities. On paper, he seems to have it all, loved by his students, popular with colleagues, enjoys the pride of his mother who emigrated from the Congo. But after he suffers a devastating loss, his life is thrown into a tailspin. Longing to escape, Michael decides to spontaneously pack and go to America, the mythical land of the free, where he imagines everything will be a bit easier, a place where he can become someone new, someone without a past filled with pain. On this transformative journey, Michael travels from New York City to San Francisco, partying with new friends, sparking fleeting romances, and splurging on big adventure. Can't read today, sorry. In the back of his mind, Michael has a plan: follow his dreams until the money runs out, and then he can consider what it means to stay alive. So this is definitely for one when I'm in that mood, when I've not been reading anything sort of, I don't know what the word is, kind of like soul-searchy and in-depth perhaps, and exploring identity. And we will find out if it works for me or not. So I've got another one. So this is 93. And I have dropped off all those books that I said I was going to get rid of. They are now in a charity shop. I have yet to drop off The Horse Who Came Home, but that's because I'm popping it in the free little library, and I wanted to just write a little note in it before I dropped it off, just letting people know this is an ARC, what that means, and that they can't sell it. But this is a great story for someone who enjoys da 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 da. So hopefully someone will want to pick it up and they'll read the little note and it'll be like yes or no if the book is for them. So that one is in the going pile. But when I went into the charity shop, I made that massive error. I looked at bookshelves and I said my book buying ban starts from when I started talking about my drawer, but I haven't officially started it yet. And I felt like it'd be a crime to walk away from these. So there is a series that I have been wanting to read for a really long time. I see it everywhere. I don't feel it's in danger of disappearing, so I haven't made an effort to get hold of it. I'm not particularly fussed about the covers, so I haven't tried to do a hardback buy or searching it or anything like that. But it is definitely one I hear amazing things about, and it is on my list of ones that I do want to read. And charity shop had Jade War and Jade Legacy, you know, perfectly fine paperback condition. So I'm like, when I'm at the point of reading this, I would be paying £10 for them in a regular shop. I have not, the charity shops that I go to do not tend to have a great amount of fantasy. So to see fantasy in a charity shop and the two of them, I was like, I had to bring them home with me. So bargain, under a £5, 2 books from the Jade Legacy series. Obviously I need the first one, so they're not going to be read anytime soon. But as I have hauled some more books off my shelf, there is space for them. So I'm not going to do Under the Drawer because Under the Drawer is full, and I'm not going to be reaching for them immediately because they are like the second and third books in the series. I'm going to give myself a pass if I see Jade City in a charity shop. I'm going to give myself a pass and that would be okay. One pass, that's the only one. That's the only one. And then the other books that I said I would be, of series that I may or may not be starting. I hadn't even got Jade City in that one because I didn't own any of them. Anyway, I'm excited. I'm really excited that I've got these and I've made space for them on the shelves upstairs already. So it's fine. It's completely fine. Right. These shelves. I think my tea has brewed enough for me to pour. Oh, wow. The handle is hot. So here's my beautiful teapot. Can we do this? Can I do live tea? I'm putting a little mat on my lap. Can I do live tea pouring without it going horribly wrong? We will find out in a moment. Wasn't too bad. You can't even see. There we go. Hold on. There we go. Ah, tea pouring. Yes. Okay. I have managed the tea pouring. Hooray. Let's have some tea. Still just on the slightly too hot side for me. So I'm going to leave it to cool. Please don't spill. Hooray. No mishaps. And then move the teapot. Okay. Secure the teapot and we're good to go. So let us crack on. Where is my book? Okay, so I have got 3 more books to add to the list. I can't take any off because those went on the Physical TBR. So adding 3 brings me to 95. So we are 95 books for so far. Let's see how we get on. So we're here in front of my classics shelf. I have no idea how I'm going to reorganise all my books. I think that's something I don't think I'm going to manage to do the Physical TBR and the reorganisation of books all in one go. I think we'll just go through the Physical TBR and then another time I will reorganise my bookshelves. I do enjoy having my classics up here, but I do also enjoy moving things around and just putting things out differently. So I will see how I feel. Anyway, here is my classics shelf. Let me move you so you can see it properly. There we go. That's nicer, isn't it? So most of these I have read. I need to read this one. Oh, please come out. So we have Sanditon, Lady Susan and the History of England, by Jane Austen. I do need to read those. I think there's a part of me that's holding off just because it's the only stuff I haven't read. Actually, no, I have. It's the History of England I haven't read. I have read Sanditon, and Lady Susan before. I think it has the Watsons in here as well. I have read Mansfield Park, but this is such a cute little copy. So cute. I have also read Northanger Abbey. Again, I love this version of this book. Also very, very cute. Persuasion. I found this one in a charity shop and was very excited because it was hardback. I really love this copy. Also read Sense and Sensibility. Again, I love this really old version of this book. Read, and then here's my pretty version. That was my treat for myself. Look at that with the cut out bits. Love it so much. And Pride and Prejudice, also read many a time. Emma, I have read before, but I have not read Emma for a really long time. And Emma is a book that I do really, really, really want to reread because I haven't read from this copy. I haven't read from the Pretty Sense and Sensibility copy either, but one at a time. I'm going for Emma, so I'm putting Emma on my physical TBR list. Oliver Twist, I have read. I really love these editions. I don't know what they are. What little penguin? There we go. The hardback Penguin Classics. I really like them. The Tenant of Wildfell Hall, my favourite Bronte, and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Haven't read all the Brontes, but that one is my favourite. This one is on the physical TBR. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I have not read. This is a very beautiful copy got for me by Mum. Is it called the Chilterns Classics? I'm not sure, but it's very, very pretty. And here is my Nella Larson complete bind up. Passing Quicksands and the little mini stories. I have read all of those. Love Quicksand. That one was my favourite. Yeah, I am very happy with how I have my classics. So behind here, we've got other kind of Austen-esque ones. So we have The Crawford Scandal by Helen Wells Ward. I'm actually friends with the author. She is she is such a lovely person. And I have been so lucky to have been here at the birth of this book and have been able to see kind of the progress with it and kind of where it went. This is a story of if you kind of took Mansfield Park, but then took the character of Miss Crawford to kind of see what happened to her afterwards and kind of had the modern spin on the morality of it, I suppose you could say. Like the idea of cutting someone out of the family being quite harsh. I think you will have a really, really fun time with this book. So this is a gothic thriller. And she draws a lot on kind of the feelings of the monk. And there's a lot of kind of historical detail in here. And there are a few kind of fun bits and pieces that you might recognise from some of other of Austen works as well. So yes, The Crawford Scandal by Helen Wells Ward. Jane Austen's Letters. I'm not putting this on my TBR as a book to read. I have got this because I kind of want to go through it for a writing project that I want to do at some point. I'm not quite there with being able to organise my time for it. It's just kind of brewing at the back of my brain and I just note things down when I have them. But I want to have the voice of Jane Austen and kind of like more information about the time that she was writing in. So I am working as you can see, I have started. Here's a load of notes that I've written. And that's kind of that's the bit that is the letters. And these are all the notes on the letters. And that's kind of as far in as I got. So it's all in there. It's been a while since I've picked it back up again. Right, I can't put it back in. Hold on. This is Evelina by Frances Burney that I also need to read. It's got an interesting forward as well about it all. And I know this was a novel that Jane Austen grew up reading. So I really want to read it. This is my little paper copy of Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sandition. So if it's not in the other, if the Watsons is not in the other one I had, this it's definitely in this one. So that's that one there. This actually I have not finished reading. I got distracted from it at some point. So this is Dangerous Liaisons by Shodolos de Lacolos. I have absolutely butchered that pronunciation. I am so sorry. French is not my forte at all. I do not have the correct mouth. That's one. So there we go. So, oh, actually no. So two, because Evelina. So 1, 2 more to add. Long Burn by Joe Baker. I love. So this I think is probably, I haven't read a huge amount of kind of books inspired by Austen. But of the ones I have read, this is one I actually enjoyed. Because I think quite a lot of them I got them from the library and I'd kind of read them and I'd kind of enjoy it to start off with, and then it just wouldn't feel right and I just didn't have a good time with it. I have yet to read The Other Bennet Sister, which I know is one that everyone has really, really enjoyed. But yes, Longbourn I really, really enjoyed. Now we have Shakespeare. So I have the complete works here. Again, I found this in a charity shop and that was pretty awesome. And then, so then I have my plays here. So I have, right, everything's just going to collapse. I'll just leave it down there. These versions of the plays, I don't know if you can still get them anymore, but these were the ones that were around when I was in my late teens. This was the text I studied in sixth form, I think. Yeah, sixth form. And I just really like that copy. And then when I went on to kind of like do lots of like Amdram stuff. Oh, is it the National Theatre ones? Yeah. Used and recommended by the National Theatre. Just add a little bit of ponciness in there. Snobbiness, maybe is a better word. So from all the different Shakespeare texts, there's just something about these ones that I just really enjoyed. And I found these two that someone was just getting rid of. So I have those. I'm not going to do it now. At one point I was like, I will own all of them, but right now absolutely don't have the shelf space. I'll just stick with my collection. But I do have these versions, so like the Shakespeare stories done by, is it what are they? What's the apple symbol? What is that publishing symbol? Orchard. Of course, Apple Orchard. Yeah, so the Orchard Classics. I have a lot of the Orchard Classics and I've kept them just in case they'll be useful to my children at any point. I have this absolutely used and abused copy of the Duchess of Malfi. This is completely destroyed with all of my note-taking. One, again, because it was my A-level text, but also because the Fringe Theatre Company that I was involved in, we put on a version of the Duchess of Malfi, which was a huge amount of fun. I really love the language in that. This was a present from my husband because, I was involved in a lot of Fringe Theatre and I was directing stuff, so he bought me this book, which was gorgeous. It was so lovely. So this is definitely like one that I'm just going to keep. It had lots of like little helpful hints and stuff in there, so that stays with all my plays. And why are you here? Oh, did you just get shoved at the front? There we go. Let's put you back here. I think that's because I read it recently. There we go. I read it last year. There we go. Right. Shakespeare is away. So there we go. So that's behind there. So that was, I've completely lost count of how many. I think it was 3. No, it was just 2. It was just Evelina and Longbourn that I'm counting. So that takes me up to a total of 100. So we have hit 100 already for my physical TBR. And that is not including the books under my bed. So I'm going to add those ones from that video. If you've not seen that video, it is here. I'm going to add those in at the end. Okay, children's classics now. So I have the Nutcracker by E.T.A. Hoffman. I have read. And I also treated myself to, I love these. This is the Usborne collection. So they have fairy tales as well as kind of like factual books in this. So I treated myself to the Nutcracker. It's not, in terms of like design, it's not my favourite because it hasn't really got, so I really like the peek through bits where you can see, it adds like different things onto other things. And there's like lots of different kind of decorations and baubles and like snowflakes with this one, but I've seen other ones where it's a little bit more impressive with what they kind of cut out and don't. So like here, I like, look, they've got the snow for the window, and then you open it and then they're outside. No, they're not. It's a bigger window. Okay. Well, anyway, I do enjoy these. Oh, like here we go. Look, mouse hole. So look, here we go. Look, you've got a little mouse hole, and it's very, so you've got the purple bit, so it looks like a little tunnel. When you turn the page, that is actually kind of like little bits and pieces of like the leaves and the trees. Anyway, the artwork is really gorgeous. This one I like. Look at the fairies going through the trees there. And then you've got the Sugar Plum Palace. Any flaps? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've actually got a flap here. Got a flap. There we go. And there's the Sugar Plum Palace in there. And then we're back with Clara in her room. So this is more of like the ballet, the kind of like well-known kind of version, which was not the original. The original is different. This is the original. Again, love this copy. It is just gorgeous. Let me see if I can find, look at these end pages. And then, look at this. It's all made out of like different shapes and things, or silhouette. I love it. It's great. Anyway, the inspiration for wanting to read these and kind of explore the Nutcracker was because I was really excited to read Midnight in Everwood by M.A. Cusnier. Marie Cusnier? She's got one title for her children's books and one for her adult. Anyway, that's what inspired these, but these now live on the classics shelf, but this one is mine, not my children's. Right, where are we going now? Okay, here. Let's bring these out. So I have Ballet Shoes. I do want to reread at some point. Goodnight, Mr. Tom. I read this recently from this edition, which is gorgeous. Again, want to reread Little Women. Also love this edition. I have Good Wives in this old little leather-bound edition that is tiny. And this was a present for my mum. It's a little Anne of Green Gables in the what edition is this one? Macmillan. So it's the Macmillan Collector's Edition. So you have very tiny books, which is just so cute. I love how tiny they are, with the gold edges, and then there's always a quote on the back. And Anne's one said, "Isn't it nice to think that tomorrow is a new day with no mistakes in it yet?" Love Anne. So don't need to add any of those to the list. I have some more here. I have the fourth book, Anne of Windy Willows, because I really like. This is a hardback, and it has Kim Braden as Anne, who is my favourite Anne from the adaptions. I have yet to see Anne with an E because I don't have Netflix, so I haven't been able to watch it, but would like to at some point. Chronicles of Avonlea. This is a gift from Mum because she found it in a charity shop. Sorry, just distracted. Someone's got their name and address in here, which I hadn't noticed before. And this is the exact copies that she has as well in this kind of old green binding. Is that? No, it's the Chronicles of Avonlea. I also have the Further Chronicles buried back here. So let's just move these around. I've got Narnia and a poetry book at the front. Okay, so the rest of my Anne collection is here. Let's move you. There we go. I've got my rest of my Anne books behind there. So I have a paper copy of Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea and Anne of the Island. That's books 1, 2 and 3. And then there's the Further Chronicles of Avonlea again in this hardback. I have another Louise May Alcott book, which is 8 Cousins, which I really, really love. Yeah, I just enjoy the cousins and all the different things that they get up to. And I just love the relationship between the protagonist Rose and her uncle. I then have I have a Michael Monpergo Twist of Gold, which is possibly my favourite, but a dual reread. And then I have some Rosemary Sutcliffe. I really like Rosemary Sutcliffe's historical work. Again, all due rereads, but haven't got any planned in exactly. So Eagle of the Nights, The Shield Ring, Brother Dusty Feet, Warrior Scarlet, and The Armourer's House. These ones could possibly have been stolen from Mum's house. I'm sure she will tell me, but she's not said, "Where's this book gone? I need to read this book." So I think I'm just going to keep hold of them. Now, I have this collection of Michael Monpergo books here, which I'm going to get out and talk to you about. So they're all in this lovely box. I have read about half of them. And out of the ones I have read, I would read Long Way Home again. I really loved Long Way Home. That was my favourite. And I'm not sure about the others. I did enjoy Warhorse and Private Peaceful, but I don't know if I'd read them again. But these are very easy to kind of get hold of from libraries. There always seems to be, especially the more well-known titles, are easy to get hold of from libraries. So I think if my children ever did feel that they wanted to read one, or we're going to go and try one from a library, it'd be very easy to get hold of. So, because my feeling is that I'd keep Long Way Down, different book, Long Way Home. I'd keep that one, but not necessarily any of the others, because I don't know if I'd read them again. So I think actually what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to split them up, because it's very nice that they're all contained in this box and this could make someone very happy, I think I am going to unhaul these. So that's my plan with those. My Narnia books I have already read. There's certain ones I'm probably never going to reread again, but I do like having the collection. I just really enjoy the covers on these ones. They're very pretty, and it was like a really big, it was like my main Christmas present from my mum when I was a child. Just these gorgeous copies. So whoop, they're gonna stay. Eating my hair. I'll tuck my hair in between them all. Okay, and then I have this, which is upside down. So it's the folio edition of Edward Lear's Complete Nonsense. And I love how you can barely read it. So here it says Edward Lear Complete Nonsense, but the writing is so swirly you can barely read it. So that's the case. And then here is the book. And end pages. And we have this lovely double spread again of like the alphabet and all sorts of things, and then it's illustrated with coloured little doodles going through just utter nonsense rhymes. So this I haven't read. I don't think I'd read it in one sitting. I think I would work my way through it and kind of pick it up and put it down. I think one of the things I do want to do with reorganising is I want to kind of have like my novels in verse and my poetry collections together, so I can kind of dip in and out of them a bit more. So that might be what I put one of these to, so I might put it there. But I just thought, this was in a charity shop for £2. I'm like, this is a folio edition. So yeah, I have that. Because it's cute. Right, gonna move on to my sort of more display shelf in the over there, which has a lot of middle grade on it. So Chris Riddell's Goth Girl novels, read all of those. The Hatmakers I need to read. Amari I've read. Nevermore I've read so far. This is a book that I just picked up because it was in the free little library, and it's my children, but I just haven't put it away yet, so that's just on there, so I'm gonna read that. Hugo Pepper, great book. And then we have sort of more picture book-esque ones. So we have the boy, the mole, the fox and the horse. Actually, I have not read that one. So we have the version that is that was the film, and then we have the original version, both gifts, because we're known to be book lovers. So those were very lovely, and both Christmas gifts, I think. So that was very cool. So actually, that's 2. So that's 3. I have read this, but it's due, I would say that's due a reread actually, The Story of Babushka by Catherine Flores. So I'm going to count that one as well. So that's 4. I've read the The Restless Girls. This is gorgeous. Look at those beautiful illustrations by Jessie Burton. It's beautiful. Read that one. Shakespeare. I can't put it back on the shelf now. I'm just going to hold it. Shakespeare, The Animated Tales, which has got some bits for plays in. The Osborne Shakespeare stories, Kenneth Graham's The Wind in the Willows, like a graphic novel of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, the Winnie the Pooh collection, stories for boys who dare to be different, 101 awesome women who transformed science, the 4 branches of the Mabinogi, which is some Welsh folk tales, the 4 Seasons of Bramley Hedge, which is some gorgeous books, picture books by Jill Barkham, and this is a non-fiction about books, which I haven't read. It just stays there with all the other ones. So out of those, I would I would class these two as I haven't read, but I'm wanting to do something where I would kind of like read one of each a day. So I'm not going to count them as part of this physical TBR because I'm going to do that when I feel that's something I can do. So I'm just going to leave them there for now. And the others are kind of stories I've dipped in and out of and have shared with my children. So we're on 103. P. Jelly Clark, Master of Gin, gorgeous. And also the novella The Haunting of Tramcar. Loved, read them. Read all of these Witches series Pratchett books. I love these covers for them in their beautiful hardback. I think they're gorgeous. I have loved and read Frostheart, and I have loved and read the Chorus of Dragons series. And on over here, I have loved and read the Faithful and the Fallen Quartet by John Gwynne. So yeah, these are all ones right at the front here of just stuff I love. So let's get out the ones that are hiding at the back. Camera placement here was quite awkward. I think I've managed it now. Okay, so we have a huge pile of hidden books behind here. I think these are Tiffany Aiken books and possibly some other Pratchett. Yes, so we have Tiffany Aiken and other Pratchett and some more Tiffany Aiken. So yeah, so that's all Tiffany Aiken. Oh, and there's my Twilight series behind there. So I have read all of these, and none of these need to be added to the physical TBR. I'm not planning rereads either, so I'm not including them in that. So that's all good. And at the top here is my Pure Dead. These are children's books. So I have Pure Dead Magic, Pure Dead Wicked, and Pure Dead Brilliant. Again, all read. Will reread at some point, but not planning to at the moment. And there was Sanderson's Secret History as well. Also read. Okay, we're starting to get on to ones that I do need to read. Read, and this one's leaving the house because I didn't enjoy the story, so this will go on to someone else to enjoy. So that one is going. I need to read The Ones We Burn by Rebecca Mix, which is a YA fantasy. And here I have come out the Extravaganza series. And these are the ones with the original covers, which are the ones I much prefer. So I have The City of Masks, The City of Stars, and The City of Flowers. I think this is kind of almost like a weird age range where it's sort of in between middle grade and YA. So I think depending on that person's maturity and their experience of reading, as to whether or not these ones would work for them. But it definitely has both middle grade and YA vibes in this series. I have read The City of Masks. That's the only one that I've read. So I want to reread The City of Masks and then read the other two. There is another series, but you can't get them in these covers, so I'm just going to have these ones. And if I have a really lovely time with these, I might seek them out, but maybe not buy them. We'll see. But yeah, these are by Mary Hoffman, so that's now another 4 that I'm adding to the list. Dragon Rider I have read. And I think we've got Sanderson behind here. But first of all, we've got Bonesmith by Nikki Palpreto, which I need to read. So that is 5. So Sanderson's Skyward series. I have Skyward, Starsight and Cytonic, all of which I need to read. I believe the 4th one is coming out this year. So I have no plans to read these right now, but I do really want to read them because I've heard amazing things about Skyward and enjoyment about Starsight, mixed on Cytonic, but we'll see what happens and what everyone else says. But I do want to read these because I really enjoy Brandon Sanderson. So, and the final one in here is Only a Monster, which I have read. I really liked this book. I enjoyed it a lot. Do I need to keep hold of it? I don't think I do. Even though it's really pretty, I don't think I'm going to read it again. I do want to read the second one and kind of see where the series goes, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to unhaul it. Because I need to. I haven't really unhauled that much. So I need to unhaul some things because I have no shelf room. So I'm going to pass on Only a Monster. Right. So that means we have these to add and the sound of some ones to add. Okay, so So let me count up where we are. What do you notice? No books on the top now. So yay! I've managed to squeeze them all onto one shelf. Happy days. Anyway, oh, this is why I haven't put Dragon Rider back. Whoops. Oh well, maybe not so exciting. Anyway, we are at 111 books. So all the ones. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh yes, so up here I have my Mistborn series. Era 1, The Final Empire. Book 2, The Well of Ascension. And book 3, The Hero of Ages. I love those copies. I haven't read from them yet, so I'm adding them to the physical TBR. So even though I've read the stories, I haven't read from those copies, and I do want to. So that brings us to 114 books. Actually, that's a lie, because there's one hidden here. Got this little secret gap here. I have The Mask of Mirrors by M.A. Carrick. So that is 115. Okay. Second to last shelf. Also, I mentioned that Usborne Books. I have the big versions of their question and answer books, which are gorgeous. Look at all this. All these wonderful flaps and illustrations. And then these were the ones that I was talking about with the little peep throughs. So we've got the sea and the zoo, and they're just really cute. Look, see, look, there's a penguin playing with a ball, and on the other side, it's a beehive. So yeah, I like those. That's why they're allowed on these shelves. And why my children will not be leaving with them, because they will be mine. Right, we're at the Hotchpotch shelf. I'm not sure what we're going to find on it, but we'll see. Hopefully more stuff that I can unhaul, because I kind of need to. I haven't read The Giver Quartet. I really like this bind up of all 4 in this nice hardback. Really want to read The Giver, never read it, and the other ones as well. So that's 4. What's that? 4. There we go. Do the correct fingers. 4. Don't move and fall and die. Okay. I have the second and third books in the Stieg Larsson Millennium Trilogy by Stieg Larsson. The Girl Who Played with Fire and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo I have lent to a friend. So I really hope she enjoys it. I'm aware of who she is. I've written it down so I know where that one is. I really like these. Definitely want to reread these at some point, so they are staying. I love The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. Gorgeous book, definitely staying. Okay, I haven't read this one. So this is The Conjure Women by Afia Atakora. Really want to read it, have yet to read it. So that's, so we're now on 5 to add to the list. I have read both Get a Life Chloe Brown and Take a Hint Danny Brown. I can definitely see me reading Get a Life Chloe Brown again, just because I had such a cute time with these characters and got really, really close to these characters. I really enjoyed Take a Hint Danny Brown. I had a great time, but I didn't kind of get as close to the characters as I did in Chloe. So I don't know if I'm going to read this again. In fact, I don't think I am going to read this again. So I think I'm going to say bye to Danny. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm sorry, Danny. I'm glad you're really happy in your life, but I'm going to keep Chloe and say bye, Danny. Okay. Where was I? More books. This is my 5. Okay, cool. That's my keeping. Got it. Right. Don't want to get my confused. I love Prayer of Gods by Nikki Drayden. Keeping that. Come here. Okay. I have read The Hate You Give. I have read On the Come Up. I have yet to read Concrete Rose. Love Felix. I need to read, here we go, it's this way. I need to read Where the Light Goes by Sarah Barnard. This is an arc, which is why it's confusing me. I have read the first 2 books in Maya Angelou's biography, autobiography, and I have read Beloved. I have not read let's call it a doomsday, or The City of Brass. Right, that's quite a lot of books on my lap, so I'm going to note those down before I go any further. We're on 124. Let's carry on doing the front of the shelves. Okay. City of Girls, need to read. Vanishing Half and The Library of the Dead I have read and I'm keeping. Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross I need to read, and also Cruel Illusions by... Where's the author hiding? Oh, she's up here. Margie Fuston. I need to read that. So that takes us 127. We have the back shelf now. What's on the back shelf? Princess of Souls. I need to read. This was like an extra book in the Fairy Loot box. I don't know. I feel I need to do like a tea and taste with some and just decide, am I going to read them? Is it going to be something that I want to read? And if not, let it go. It does feel like I've been given this book and it's very pretty. There's just so many books I need to read, and I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. Jury's out because I've not read it. So I'm just going to put that there for now and see how I feel later. School for Good Mothers I have read, but I am not going to reread, so I'm going to let go of this one as well. The Mercies I still need to read by Kira Millward Hargrave. Very excited about that. So that's one. Jury's out on two. Alexander McCall Smith's what's the first one called? I can't read it because the spine's all faded. The Number One Ladies Detective Agency. That's the series. I have read all 6 of those and enjoy them, so I'm keeping them. Right, we can pull this pile out. What have we got? Okay, so the bottom 2 books here. We have November Road and The End of October. So these are 2 thrillers, I think. And these are given to me by my friend Sarah, because her sister gave her a load of books that all had a different month in them. So from like January to December, that was her Christmas present. So she had a different one to read in the month it occurred, which I thought was really cool. And she gave me the books to look at, and I picked up these 2 because they were thrillers and I thought I'd give them a try. But I don't know. I'm going to add them to the tea and taste with this one. So this is my Jury's Out. Oh! Throwing books around. Right. That's my Jury's Out on those. I'm going to do a tea and taste with them and see, do I still want to read any of those? Big Little Lies. I really liked this. I enjoyed it a lot. It's just part of me that's kind of held on to it because I read it and really enjoyed it, but I don't know. I think again it's in that The Last Dag on Earth kind of the last dog on Earth territory, where I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up again. I've read it and I enjoyed it and I'll remember it. I'm unhauling. I'm gonna unhaul it. The same with The Underground Railroad by Colson Whitehead. Sorry, it looks like Matthew in the screen. I don't know why. Anyway, Colson Whitehead, The Underground Railroad. Really enjoyed it. It's one of those that would I pick up to kind of look back at something or not? I don't know. I think this is one I am going to put in my pile for my husband to read. Like, he's not noticed it because it's like hidden at the back and he just kind of ignores my books. But I think that he could enjoy this one and also The Last Dog on Earth. So I'm going to put them in a little pile for him to see if he wants to read them. Okay, and I know there are a lot of mixed feelings about The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I'm one of the people that love this book. I loved Nora. I found the story enjoyable and I invested in Nora. I have also suffered from mental health, and although not everyone's journey's the same, I felt the heart-wrenching part of her suicide and her feelings of worthlessness and the kind of regret thing. It's just one aspect of it, but I was okay with it just being one aspect and exploring it that way. So I enjoyed The Midnight Library by Matt Haig and I'm keeping it because I had a really great time with it and I probably would pick it up again. Also love Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. This is one of my favourite books, and again, I would reread it. Right, where does that leave us? Okay. Malala Yousafzai. I think I would keep dipping in and out of this one, so yeah, I'm going to keep that one. This needs to go back to my mum because it's her book, but it was gorgeous. That's The Map of Leaves by Yarrow Townsend. Mum pile on the floor. Book Thief. I love Book Thief. I had a great time with Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. Haven't read it for a really long time, so it's one of those ones I would like to reread when at some point in my life. But yeah, keeping that one. 7 Ways We Lie. I was really excited to read this one. So this was again back when I first started BookTube, and there were lots of kind of books about different representation of LGBTQ plus community and like mental health, and I thought the concept of this sounds interesting. I don't know if I am, so I'm going to put this in a tea and taste as well, because I don't know if my mood has kind of changed and I've been reading other things and I'm no longer kind of as excited by this one. So it's going to go in that pile. I have Epic Love Story and Paul Coelho's 11 Minutes. I'm going to think about those as well. I'm going to think about those too. I've read both of them. I'm going to think, do I want to keep them or not? Because I did enjoy them. Would I reread them? I can't remember 11 Minutes that well. I know it was about sex, but I can't remember it that well. And would I pick up Epic Love Story? It was very sweet. It was really, really sweet. I might do. Jury's out on those. I'm doing great in making decisions on this shelf, aren't I? These Middle Grade, goes without saying I'm keeping. That's The Deepest Breath, Melissa and Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. And then I have this weird collection at the end. Jumble of sort of poetry books and other bits. And The Help, just because. I'm keeping The Help because it's one of my favourites. Okay, what have we got? The Children's Writers and Artists Yearbook from 2009. That is so up to date with information now. Book from when I was teaching, Poems for Every Occasion, The Works. I might kind of have that more accessible for my Mad March Hare, because he does enjoy dipping in and out of poetry from now and then and enjoys like funny rhymes and things. So I might kind of said I was going to make a poetry shelf. So yeah, let's move that. And this was another one from my teaching days. This is gorgeous. Love That Dog by Sharon Creech. Again, I'm going to have that more accessible because it's such a gorgeous book. English Lit Days, Meantime by Caroline Duffy. I still enjoyed my time with that. And here we go, one to add to the list. I started The Black Unicorn by Audre Lorde. But it was in a time when I suddenly bogged myself down with loads of like really heavy books. And I just needed to kind of break away from that whole kind of TBR. I went all in with kind of like the dark, spooky, heavy, and it just got too much for me. So I never went back to it. So yes, I need to read this one. So that's another one for the list, I think. This I'm going to add to the to the tea and taste pile, because I ordered my mum a copy of Frostheart for her birthday from World of Books and got this. It was like £2, and the effort of trying to send it back, it seemed like a lot. So I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll read it. So this is, ready for name butchering, the Flochdale Saga and the Droplaugarsons, translated from the Icelandic by Eleanor Horwath and Jean Young. And this is called The Last of the Sagas, one of 40 or so family sagas of the Icelandic, covering events in the eastern Iceland over a period of 200 years, beginning in the late 9th century. Some of the adventures of the Droplaugarson brothers are among the many entertaining episodes recounted so vividly in this masterly translation. Cool. So I may enjoy it, or I may be like, I am totally confused. I'm going to put it on the possibilities. So, oh no, I still have I'm going to pick up the camera and move it. I'm on 129 so far. So, Gender, a graphic guide. I want to reread that. I'm not going to add it on though, because that'll be just I'm feeling in the mood and I'll pick it up. Bloody Brilliant Women, need to read, by Kathy Newman. Lucy Worsley's Jane Austen at Home, I need to read. I have read Jane Austen's Guide to Dating. I spoke about Black on Both Sides upstairs. It's now come down to live with my non-fiction. I need to read The Guilty Feminist. I need to read Andre Laude's The Master's Tools belong in the Master's... Oh, We'll Never Dismantle the Master's House. Essay collection. There's like 5 essays in there. And I have read The Little Book of Pride. So that is another 1, 2, 3, 4 to add. So final shelf, we are in the hallway. I think I'm on 129, but who actually knows? I'm sure I'll realise I've miscounted or something when I watch it back. So far I've read Unicorn. That is part of, Outcast is part of the Wolf Brothers series by Michelle Paver, which I have read all of them and would love to reread at some point. This beautiful rainbow one is the Secret Sunshine Project, which I have read, as I have read Mr. Loverman. I have read The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting. I need to read this one, but I'm reading that with my son. So I'm probably not going to count it because we're just reading it together and I'm not really talking about it, but I'll talk about it at the end. I've already mentioned Wolf Brother. The Darkening, which is hidden, by Sonia Mara. I need to read. So that's one. Red House with Chicken Legs and A Gathering of Light and All the Wandering Light and Midnight in Everwood, which was the book I was talking about. I need to read The House in the Cerulean Sea, so that is number 2, more Wolf Brothers stuff. Secret Garden, I have not read from this copy, so I'm going to add that in. So Secret Garden, The House at the Cerulean Sea, and The Darkening, so 3. August Town I have read and I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to reread, and I'm unhauling and rehoming to Olivia from Olivia's Catastrophe because she needs to read that. So that is going to go in the post to her. Whoop, and it's not going to balance there, is it? I do need to read both of these, Midnight at the Malabar House and The Mountains Sing. So that's 5. And I've read The Girl with the Louding Voice. Now to look at everything that's at the back. And this is where I say, please excuse the dust. The Irish Tales from the Otherworld. This was another present for my husband, and it does look very, very cool. I might pick this up and kind of read it a few in spooky season. So I might put this with the poetry collection for like little short stories. So yeah, I'm going to do that. Also, it's for the seasonal shelf. That's very autumny. As is this one, Bernard Cornwell's The Last Kingdom. I need to read that one. So I'm not counting. I did read Tales from the Otherworld, but I haven't read this one. So that's another 1. Burning Bright by Tracy Chevalier, I have read. Catherine by Anya Seton, I have read. The Snow Child, I have not read. A Rabble of Drabble and Doodles, I have read. But that would go with the poetry and short story things. So I'm going to move that one. I have not read The Map of Salt and Stars or These Apples Fell from the Sky. I love Sweet Bean Paste. And I have not read The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss or The Wise Man's Fear. And that is it. That is everything. And there we go. I have dusted the shelf, you'll be pleased to know, and then reorganised it for its autumn seasonal end. So I now have all of these lovely leaves from The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting and the Patrick Rothfuss books into Ghost Hunter by Michelle Paver, which is the final book in the Chronicles of Ancient Darkness, into some wintry books, into some spring colours, into some summer colours, and going back into the autumnal sort of orangey browns, and finishing off with The House with Chicken Legs, which I think is a very great autumn book about Baba Yaga. Okay, I've probably miscounted, so I'll double check when I watch the footage back. But I think I'm on 140, and that's all the books. So my physical TBR, including some ones that I'm really wanting to like reread, and they're kind of like the top of my reread piles, I'm on 140. Now last year when I did this, I had 169. So technically I have gone down through reading and DNFing, even though I have been continuously hauling. I'm going to count up my current load of DNFs. Not DNFs, like unhaul. Okay, so I've got 12 plus the Michael Mumpergo book collection, so that takes me to 28. So 28 books I'm unhauling. So that's good. I'm very happy. So I have decided to, as well, so from the other shelf, as well as unhauling August Town, I'm also going to unhaul Bernardine Evaristo's Mr. Loverman. Again, really enjoyed reading this book, but it's not one that I'm going to pick up and read again. So I'm going to give it to a new home so someone else can enjoy it. And what was I going to say after that? Yes, so now we need to do the full-on bit of maths. So this is 140 plus 79, so that's practically 80. So that's something to do with 12 and another 100. 220, but I'm going to confirm that now. Takeaway 1. So 219 is going to be my guess, but I'm going to check it. Yes, 219. Okay, so my physical TBR is 219. So that is my starting point. I want to read 30 books before I buy more books. I did not add. Did I add Jade War and Jade Legacy to this at the beginning? I think I did. I'm going to go with 219, but like I said, if the number's a bit crazy, when I do my official Read What Your Own Challenge relaunch for me, chucking it down with rain outside and I've got to do the school run in 30 minutes, then I will confirm the numbers. But as of now, 219 books on my physical TBR. I want 30 books before I buy any more. So that would mean that it goes down to 190. Let's see how we go. Let's see how we go with this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it hasn't been too painful. If it has, obviously, you're welcome to just turn off. No one is forcing you to watch this. If there are books in here that you're particularly keen for me to read and to focus on, please let me know in the comments. They may boost up the list. It may be ones I'm more likely to consider because you're interested in them and I like to chat. So if you're interested and I read them, we're more likely to have a conversation, which is what this is all about, just chatting about books and having fun with books. Please let me know if you do physical TBRs or if you have like a Kindle and have TBRs on that, or audiobook library and have TBRs on that. Let me know what you are on. If you want to, there is no pressure, or kind of what your goal is, or if you're taking part in anything similar to the Read What Your Own Challenge, or was it Shelf to Zero, or other versions of it have called, and just let me know your personal preference. Just because of my space, want to make sure that I am reading and not hauling more, because of there are possible places where I could put up more shelves, but we're not really in a position to be buying a load of more furniture right now. So I just kind of need to curb it. And because I have 79 books under my bed to earn, I think I should not be in any reason to buy books. So that's the plan. Let me know how you feel. Do you feel uncomfortable if you've got too many books in your house unread, or do you not care and do you just enjoy having a huge range of books to choose from? Let me know in the comments. You know I love a chat. Happy reading, everyone.